let's get right into it. First of all, tell me where you're from and kind of what your market's like. Inner city, rural, go ahead.
Phoenix, Arizona. I also have an office in Las Vegas, Nevada, but Phoenix, Arizona is kind of my wheelhouse. Market's in a good place, so I handle everything Maricopa and Pinell County, so all Phoenix metro area.
Awesome, awesome. Go ahead.
I'm Nancy Braun. I own Showcase Realty, and I work in Charlotte, North Carolina. We do pretty much a 60-mile radius, so we have rural, urban, everything.
Awesome, and Debbie?
I'm Debbie DiMaggio. I live in Piedmont, and we have an office in Piedmont, California, and Montclair, which is in Oakland, and it's 20 minutes from San Francisco, and it is it's near Berkeley in the Oakland Hills, and I wouldn't say it's rural, but it's not like San Francisco.
I don't think much is. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. I want you to tell me, in your opinion, and feel free, you're here because you are the foremost authority on what we're talking about right now, and people respect you for it. Tell me, when you're the more analytical person on the stage, too, by the way, which is pretty great, because a lot of us in this industry are not sometimes, which leads to the disorganization and chaos in our life, which we love. So tell me, you really believe in systems, which I think that we all know that we need. Describe your systems on how you use those systems to make the experience amazing.
Well, what brought me there is I started out in real estate nearly 20 years ago, and I plateaued at about 60 transactions a year. And in my price point, that's not a huge amount of volume when you have a lot of staff to take care of. And every year I wanted to grow. I wanted to double it, triple it, and I would plateau about 60 transactions. And then I had to wake up and say, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? And I really needed to implement systems. So I put together systems for different steps and different stages, and it's constantly evolving. But what it does, when you have systems in place, you can grow, you can work less, you can delegate more, and you make less mistakes. And you're also going to be giving your client a much greater customer experience because you're going to be not being reactive, but you're going to be proactive, and you're going to be making sure that you're doing everything that you need to be doing and then some. So there's like 4 steps in the process. We first start out with all of us generate leads. And what do we do with those leads? So we implemented a program where we put all our leads into our CRM. And I invite you all to please be sure that you create some kind of CRM, whether it's a spreadsheet or Outlook, or you purchase one. We went through 4 in 1 year until I felt satisfied with the one we have now. And we're using Commissions Inc., which works for my brokerage. And it has a tremendous amount of tools that allow us to stay in contact with our contacts and our prospects, and we'll hopefully convert them into leads. So it has an ability that I can email them videos, I can email them e-blasts when I get a new property, when I have a price reduction, and I can send them updates, newsletters, I can text blast them. I can do a lot of things that will put my face or my company into the forefront, so when they're ready to pull the trigger, they're going to call myself or the company. And then the next step is when you're working with the client, having systems in place so that you have all their information at your fingertips no matter where you are. So we embraced Evernote. We took training through the Paperless Agent and the Good Life team. And we can take and record everything we have if we're in a multiple offer scenario situation in Charlotte. So all the offers can be in there, all the showing appointments in there, all the details, and including if I'm having a listing appointment, all my checklists are in there. And I can make sure I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's.
So Nancy, there's never a disconnect where any of your clients are ever wondering what's going on in the stage, right?
That's right. Well, that's critical. Communication is everything in this business. So this keeps us on target with follow-up and with communicating with the client.
So systems, 100%.
Systems. But the third step is really vital, and that's what's going to set you apart. And this is where we caused ourselves to have a lot of problems before we implemented this. But we task out everything that's important during the transaction. So once you're under contract, and before you close, making sure that you've got someone in your team has contacted the septic and gotten a septic permit or a foundation inspection or a survey or road planning or school changes, floodplain issues, all those things that may be forgotten because you're just so busy generating the next business. And this way, we're tasking it out to the right people in my office, and we make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's and keeping ourselves out of real estate jail.
Would you consider yourself a master delegator?
I'm a master delegator.
All right, yeah.
I'm a master delegator.
She told me where to sit.
Nancy, tell me, do you ask your clients for reviews after each transaction?
Absolutely. I think it's very important to have a closing plan, and this is something that we overlooked and we're implementing. And after we close, pick up the phone. I pick up the phone, ask them how their house is after they bought it, how was their first night. If there's any issues, I can resolve it. I can send a contractor out there. I can remind them that we have the home warranty program that they can use. And then contact them again in day 7, day 30. Call them again 6 months into the transaction. And then anniversary, block it into your calendar so you call them on every year and you send them a market analysis of their house. Everyone wants to know the value of their home.
Nancy, let me stop you for a second because I try to educate myself as much as possible, and I go to a lot of these conferences and I hear people say what you're saying, and I want to take the step to stop you for a moment and want everyone in the audience to realize that you're like, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to contact them a month, and 6 months later, great. What exactly do you do the day that that deal closes systematically? Are you putting it in your calendar?
Well, it's in our commissions Inc. system, so we can put in reminders. You can do that in Outlook. It's a simple process. First thing we send out is a handwritten thank you. So that goes out immediately. And then we start picking up the phone, and then we put them on a gentle email blast, which provides content-based information to help them with home ownership, their area, any information we want to give them, a monthly newsletter, nothing to overwhelm them. And basically what we're trying to be is career agents based on relationships, not on being a simple transactional agent that's just chasing cold calls. And your best way to build those relationships is to build them on the people you've sold with and that they're happy with. The next thing we do right after we call them, after we send them the thank you note, is we send them an email with links to the various review sites, testimonial sites, so that it's really easy for them to just click, put in their testimonial, and then we also follow up with another letter that's sent to them with a stamped, addressed hand envelope so they can do a simple 5-question review on your agent or your team and give any suggestions for improvement. And then you can ask for permission to use their name and/or their testimonial in your marketing materials.
Nancy, tell me what's the one thing that you do for your clients, no matter what, that you're known for in your market? Like, why do they call you in the first place?
I think it's because of my expertise. I don't portray myself as the agent that drops off the pumpkins or the recipe cards. I'm very serious. I'm not the funny guy. And I provide a lot of content-driven marketing that's going to offer them advice, counsel. I consider myself a consultant in this business. And in fact, when I'm working with a buyer, I'll say, in this day and age, I may not be the person that finds you the house. I'm going to be the one that gets you the right house. And because of my systems in place, I'm going to make sure that I've dotted my I's and crossed my T's and made sure that they're not in a floodplain, or they knew about it when they bought it, or that there's no road plan in mind the next 10 years to expand the road, or a lot of the details that sometimes that could be overlooked if you don't have the systems in place. So I try to offer expertise. I'm very skilled in negotiating. I'm an attorney by trade, and I've taken very exceptional negotiating classes.
Everyone in the audience just went, oh!
I'm constantly learning. I walk every morning, and I listen to webinars from other experts in the industry, from leaders in the business community. So I treat this very, very seriously, and I think the last thing I am is a salesperson.
Got it. And systems are helping you reach that success. So can I get a round of applause for these three? And Nancy, also you told me that beforehand you use, tell me, commission?
We use Commissions Inc. We also use TAZA, but there's Broker Brain. There's, there's so many programs out there that are appropriate for your business.
Right, and each one is, each one's different. How many people on staff for you?
I have about 20 full-time employees and another 20 independent contractors that report directly to me. So a team of about 40 plus another 10 to 15 independent contractor agents.
Got it.